Добрий вечір, українці, українки.
Dear Ukrainians, Europeans, our nuclear scientists, all specialists in the energy industry, managed to protect the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant from the worst-case scenario, which is constantly being provoked by Russian forces. Currently, the plant has been connected to the grid. My congratulations, it produces power for Ukraine. I want to emphasize that the situation remains very risky and dangerous. Any disconnection of the plant from the grid, any actions by Russia that could trigger the shutdown of the reactors, will again put the plant one step away from the disaster. That is why it is so important that the IAEA mission arrives at the plant as soon as possible and helps keep the nuclear power plant under continuous control of Ukraine. That is why it is so important that Russian troops withdraw from the plant and neighboring areas, and that the threat of shelling of the plant itself or power lines connected to it disappears. Ukrainian diplomats and our partners continue to fight for the safety of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant every day, and I want to thank all those who are mobilizing the world's response to Russian radiation blackmail. To all our nuclear scientists who are great, you are cool. To all our engineers, you are strong, whose professionalism is now literally saving both Ukraine and Europe when they overcome the consequences of Russian terror at the plant. Today we can draw the first conclusions about the rescue of many countries and peoples from the food crisis, which Russia wanted so badly to exacerbate into real famine. The grain export initiative has been operating for almost a month, and during this time the first 1 million tons of foodstuffs were exported from our 3 seaports in Chernomorsk, Odessa and Pivdeny since February 24th. This is a victory. This means in practice that Ukrainian grain and the very fact that the Ukrainian supply route to the world food market was worked make it possible to prevent chaos on the market, reduce the severity of the food crisis and prevent a catastrophic shortage. Ukraine was, is and will be among the guarantors of global food security. By the way, 44 vessels with Ukrainian foodstuff have already been sent to 15 countries of the world. We have 70 more applications for the arrival of vessels at ports for loading. The goal is to reach the volume of 3 million tons of export by sea every month, and this is extremely important for Africa, Asia and Europe. It is also important that our society realizes that this export not only supports the international subject status of Ukraine, but also provides jobs for our citizens. It is hundreds of thousands of jobs. It provides income for Ukrainian companies, for our budget, and what is very important, it provides funds for planting next year. I still remember the joy of port workers in Odessa when they not only learned, but actually saw that the port had resumed operations. This is a really important result for Ukraine, for the Black Sea region, and for the whole world. And I am grateful to everyone who joined this work, this initiative. I emphasize that this is the full responsibility of our partners to prevent any Russian provocations and disruption of exports. We continue mobilizing media support for Ukraine. Now it is time that we need to look for even more non-standard channels for spreading the truth about Russia's war against you and us, about our independence, about the needs of our state. We constantly find new information friends, real friends, partners in the defense of freedom and in countering Russian disinformation. Yes, on August 26th I spoke with Jimmy Fallon, a very famous American talk show host, actor, about options for how to draw attention to Ukraine, how to convey the truth to the United States, to the people. How can we still help Ukraine? It was his main question. The question is how to win in this information war against the lies of the Russian Federation. The situation on the front line remains unchanged these days. Our soldiers are doing everything possible to reduce the firepower and logistical potential of the occupiers. I think you all see the relevant news about the destruction of the bases of the occupiers, their warehouses, those river crossings that they use. And the more successful we will be in this, our intelligence, our army, the security service of Ukraine, the sooner we will be able to change the situation at the front in our favor. The armed forces of Ukraine, all our people, prove to the Russian occupiers every day that they do not have and will not have a chance to stay safe on Ukrainian land. The day will come when the occupiers will admit, or there simply will not be any left. Eternal glory to our strong, wise, beautiful people. Glory to Ukraine.